Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about Elastic Container Service ECS. So previous classes we already discussed like SNS, SQS, Kinsys. These are the sending the messages or getting the pulling the messages. So information we need to we need to send this using to these services. So we are getting the alerts, any CPU utilizations or issues or any memory issues. We are getting alerts in our email address. These are the concepts previously we discussed. Today we are going to discuss about ECS. ECS means Elastic Container Service. So this will create one container. It will launch one image. Like previously how we are deploying like we are using to Docker image and we are using to Jenkins and we are using to EKS cluster. So we are just configuring all of them and we are just deploying like we are using build and storing the Docker images and taking the image and we are deploying right our application. So that is managed cluster we are using and entire total CI/CD we are using. So this automation process we are done there, and we will deploy our application. It will do automation entire automatic scripts using that like pipeline script. Here what we are doing ECS we are using AWS console. AWS console where how we are deploying our application. Today we are going to discuss how we are deploying our ECS our Spring Boot application or whatever application you are using now. That application how you are deploying, how you are able to see that web page, that we are going to see today. Just I have added some of the details. This content I will provide that GitHub or in description. Launch container AWS launch EC2 task, EC2 container, like EC2 types. There is a types of launch EC2s. There is a three types of is there that I will show you whenever we are going for practical. So Amazon ECS forgets launch step. This forget launch step is a serverless. See, it is all a serverless. We don't require any server. It will create in background that container, then it will run that container in server level only, like background only. We don't require any EC2 instances, anything. Amazon ECS is the load balance integration also there, auto scaling also there, cloud for once you create the cluster, right, it will create the cloud formation and it will create the auto scaling groups and everything. Application load balancer supported AWS work for use cases. Network load balancer also it will support, and Elastic load balancer supported but not recommended. This is classic load balancer. It will support but it will not recommend as of now. Current requirement classic load balancer we are not using. Amazon ECS data volumes, like this is EFS. It will mount the file system or ECS we require some data, right, for creating the cluster and launching the task definition or creating the services. We require some data. That's why we are creating EFS mounting. Percentage volumes are storing the containers. Storage container, like for your container it will show some data that will mount in EFS. So here is the steps for hands-on. Create the ECS cluster and create the task definition and create the service name and expose all ports in container. These are the hands-on steps that we can see whenever we are going for hands-on. Okay, I think this is enough for theory. You just know about what is the ECS and why we are using ECS. That is the most important. Simple word, just tell them when anyone asks. ECS is a elastic container, so we are using deploying manually. Like any application we want to deploy, we are using to AWS control. We are deploying manually that application. We are exposing using application load balancer or network load balancer. or it will support the classic, it will not support the classic, but we are using mostly application load balancer. It will create the auto scaling groups also. Using cloud formation, it will create everything. These are the theory, you remember, then it will better to tell anyone else. Okay, that's is for theory. We can go for hands-on. So this is ACS. I'm just refreshing my account. Elastic Container Service, ECS. Here is the cluster. You just go and create the cluster. Just create demo ECS cluster. Here you can see there is a types of previously I discussed, right? There is three types. One is AWS Forget, it's a serverless, pay as of you go. You use if you have, you need to batch or bursted workload, zero maintenance overhead. The cluster has forget to spot the capacity. It will create the instance servers. Then whenever you are deleting this net, it will delete that. Then second thing is EC2 servers and EC2 ECS are anywhere. These are the three types. I am selecting ECS. So I am going to on demand. So this is the auto scaling group. It will create by default. That I will show you whenever the cluster get creating. Now you can choose Maven Linux. I am choosing instance type T2 micro. I am using low freestyle eligible. Maximum 5 I am using. 0 to 5 maximum. I am using at least one. SSH key pair is not required. This network setting by default I am using AVPCR subnets. Security groups also I am using by default. If you want, you can create it. Security group. Let me select it. Let me create one thing. ECS. Here select all TCP and open anywhere. Use subnet setting. Monitoring port is by default. Tag also. Let me create. So cluster is started. Cluster creating in progress. It will let me open cloud formation. I will show you what are the things I am creating. You can see here, this is my cloud formation. It is creating all the resources. ICT security group, EKS cluster, and let me go to resources, then you will understand. ICT security group still it is creating, so it will take time. Go to auto scaling group. EC2 auto scaling group. See, it is creating auto scaling group, updating on design capacity, creating this. It is creating everything. Go to activity, not at launching service. It is creating auto scaling group also. It will take time, 5 minutes. we need to wait until this create. Wait for 2 minutes, maybe it will create. Let me check it is creating or not. Yeah, my cluster got created. Let me open this. See, status is active. If you want, you can update anything using update cluster or go to task. There is no any task as of now. Go to infrastructure. Here is the C, and this is our cluster, and it is showing one desired capacity and maximum is a 5. And here is the container service, container instance it is running, it is up and running. Okay, metric schedule folks, that is common thing. Okay, now what we can do, once we create the cluster, then you need to go for create the task. Here there is no any task, right? As of now you need to create the task definition. Go to task definition, create the task definition. Here you can mention which application you are going to deploy. I am deploying nginxdemo. Hello. Here also you can see I am using directly AWS for get. Here also there is two types, but I am using directly that. This is by default. I am not changing anything. If you want, you can change whatever your CPU memory is required, but my container is sufficient. Here you can use name of that. And you can just search nginx container. In using Docker Hub, you just take any nginx image in Docker Hub. I'm just taking this tag, just copying this and pasting here. I'm just taking this tag. I'm pasting here. This is fine. Port mapping. 80 port only it is running. On CPU memory is running, but that is fine. In environment variable. If you don't require any environment variable. Health check container as a Docker level storage optional. Monitoring tags. Remaining I am using as it is. Let's see. These are the options after creating the cluster. Task placements and views. Now go to the cluster again. Go to AWS Elastic Container ECS inside cluster service, create the service demo cluster launch type. You can select the launch type compute option. For it I am using a serverless service. Here we cannot use the job, like why we are using task, right? Why we are not using task, right? If you want to use the task now, we need the batch job, so I am going to directly in service. Task 1 replica 1 service name, the this service. Task definition latest. Replica deployment is the option. Service optional, go to network. Here you can create new security group. nginx SG. Copy this, paste it here. Select HTTP port or anywhere you can select it. Load balancer is optional. If you want, you can create the load balancer. nginxdemos. If you require, you can create load balancer. Please select application load balancer. Create a new load balancer or existing load balancer. You can create ECS load balancer. Speed of time in second. That time is speed in seconds. If you don't specify the check race speed, the default value is 0. Negative race speed can prevent service schedule from stopping them before they have time. Target group ACS 2G. Upload also health check race speed must be number of type but no final values. Okay, let me create. Let's see. This also it will create some time. It will take some time. Creating figure group, target group, everything it will create. You can go and check there. Auto scaling group. Go to load balance source. Current it is not, still it is creating. You can wait until this got created, then we need to check. Deployment is in progress, it will take some time, so we need to wait until that. load balancer and target group also created. Things are pending. Secret groups are pending. Things Nippon showing success. Let me open this. One is healthy. Go to tasks. Open this. Open public IP. This is the public IP. Let me open this. See, my application is deployed successfully. This server address is the 125. You just verify. This is the my private IP address. See, my application got deployed successfully using ECS. This is how we need to deploy our application. So everything is there. So let me check using load balancer. It will work or anything we missed that. Using IP address it is working. Yes, using load balancer also it is working. So now everything is fine. I think target group also just verify it is healthy or not. Yeah, one is healthy. Yes, it is healthy. It is. We just compare this IP address 125. This is a 125 IP address. Now everything is done, right? This is working fine. So these are the steps we are using. Creating the first ECS cluster, task definition, service name. So options I have shown, right? In practice session you need to go through this video and create one by one and don't miss anything. Whatever application you want to deploy, that you need to deploy it. If you miss anything configuration, right, you will get the issue. So first create the cluster. This cluster is everything is fine, and check the everything tasks or then after that second thing, create the task definition. After creating the task definition, if you want to, you can change it the task definition also. Anything you want to change, right, you just click that and create the action. You need to deregister, that will entire you need to deploy. Update the service, you want to update anything, you just need to update using update service. You need to change anything, then again go to the cluster, demo cluster. My cluster name is, you just create the service. Here also if you want anything, you need to update it. Okay, I have used nginx latest image and tag I have used, and I have created the load balancer details. Okay, this is how you need to work. Now I am going to delete this. So this is related to cost, that's why I am going to delete. Go to update cluster. Tag item not update has been created. Task definition. Go to task. Update service. Design task is 1. I will put the 0. So I am cleaning up cleaning this everything. That's why I put that to 0. List updating. To cluster. What is definition? Nginx is hello, Nginx contains equals running 0. Okay, this is done. Task placement and technology for the service. Let me delete that directly. Let's see. Delete the cluster using this. Deleting the cluster. This will also create deleting also using cloud permission. And also it will take some time for deleting. I'm cleaning up everything, that's why I'm using delete command. Deactivating. It will take some time. I think you guys are understanding, right, how we are going to deploy using our application using ECS. So this delete process very easy. So you just going to cluster and you just use that delete cluster, then it will deleting. It will take some time. I think 5 to 10 minutes it will take. That's why I am skipping this step. I think delete step there is no anyone is required. Just you can go and delete, and after that now you can go. That is different. After that you can go this, right, here you can go. This also you can go. In this section we can deregister this. Not required for this. You can deregister. That's it. Your cluster got entire thing is deleted. Okay. Delete is deleted. That's it, guys. I think delete process it will take some time. You have understand, right, how we are going to deploy our application using IP address or load balancer. Then you can use ECS for deployment. I think delete now also done. This is also done. So see, everything is done now. Okay. I will share this documentation or these steps in description or my GitHub. I will add GitHub link in description also. I think that's it, guys. Today class we can discuss remaining classes in tomorrow. Thanks all. Bye.